Hello. I was gonna say good morning. It's not the morning. My bed is up, which is weird. It's not weird because I'm getting my art folder out from under it. That's what I was doing. I was like, well, I might as well turn the camera on now. That's where I've put the Alex thing, for anyone that's watched my last video. Well, no, the video before the last video. The one where I was painting it. That's where I've put it. I've like blue tacked it, sticky tacked it onto one of my frames, which is now there. They used to be on this wall, but that's where that is now, and I've got plans for that wall. But yeah, so I was gonna do the original plan was to do all the Australia pictures first, to simply spend some time just going over the black bits on them, doing the frame thing on the other side, the bit of frame. I'll show you what I mean though, actually, because I've got them here, so I might as well. Not going to work on them today because we're going to do my Coke bottle picture. Why I've decided to do them instead is because I'm going to my parents' house either in a couple of hours or tomorrow morning, and I need to use their printer so that I can trace over the Coke. So this is what I mean. So I'll just take one out. I don't know which one it is. Whichever one it says. What does it say? Upside down Perth. That's brilliant, isn't it? This is what they all look like. And they've got like the Perth skyline. Like, isn't it weird? Don't you find it really weird that is the same as that? Mad that. Absolute madness. A good sort of madness, but still mad. So on the back of them, I've kind of left it blank, but there's this kind of, this I know I was going to paint black. Forgot what I was going to do with this big bit here though. Cannot remember for the life of me. Because I didn't even have anything set in stone going to Australia when I made these, so I don't really know what it would have been before. You do get a bit battered and bruised being in this thing. There it is. So this thing is the star of the show. Can you hear that? That is the sound of my heartbreak. That sticky, sticky noise. So can we move you down a bit? Okay. So this is the picture in question. And literally, looking at it now, the only bit that's destroyed is the bottom bit. So this is what it looks like. Literally, it's only... Can't even really see it here. That's the only bit that's destroyed from this whole picture. And so, I don't really want to have to redo it all. So if I could just take one of these Coke bottles off, preferably a yellow one. No, I don't think any of them are going to come off, is the thing. But I need one. Do I have any on the back? Like a full one? No. I want to redo these big ones. Well, the lucky thing is I don't think I'm going to have to redo it all, is the good news. But what I would really like is... I wonder if I could trace over them while they're still on the thing. I don't have any plain paper, but I do have lined paper. Which, obviously, I'm not going to use the lined paper one on the actual thing. But what I'm hoping... Take everything out. I keep everything in this one drawer. It gets a bit crowded. So we've got some paper here. And this is really thin. If I really concentrate, I should be able to trace over one of them. Because I just need the exact size, you know what I mean? Trace over one of them, and I need about We'll do 10 to be safe. So we could do like 3 reds, 3 yellows. Because all the other colours are mixed. The secondary colours are mixed. And then probably need more than 10 then, won't we? See, I don't know how I want to do it. If I do Coke bottles, I want to make them slightly bigger. So are we just gonna... Are we just gonna go over the top of them? You know what I mean? Because I used a fine liner on them and I don't vibe with them. Leave the locks, I'm taking that to my parents' house. So if I could, theoretically, trace over that. Doesn't need to be perfect because I got the picture originally online. Like that's where I originally found this little Coke bottle. So it's, as long as I can trace it enough to be able to get the dimensions, so that when I go to my parents' house I can use my computer and kind of match it onto the computer and then do it properly using the screen as like a backlight. These are ripped. Or do I just go over, do I colour over them? Is the thing. What I think we'll do, is we'll leave the big Coke bottles where they are. We'll leave them where they are. We'll do some slightly bigger, I mean like a centimetre each way, bigger. Stick them over the top. And then just do a couple to fill in the space here. And then no matter what I do, the painting is not coming with me, I'm not destroying it anymore, the painting is staying here. Right, yeah. Just all needs a bit of TLC really, just loads of flappy bits on it. But this did take me about a year and I love it. It's my favourite picture. Not to do with anything sentimental, like my favourite design picture. It is this one. You can see, feel the bits of Mod Podge. Like it does help. You know what I mean? And it's more black card as well then. Because I did outline these and these just need, you need thicker outlines. Just these need to be, the big ones need to be bigger in general. You have no idea what I'm looking at. These big ones need to be just bigger in general. Like they just seem a bit lost, especially if this is far away. So they need to be bigger. The lines need to be bolder. I'm quite happy that it's not as bad as I remember it. Like you can't actually tell from here downwards. I just did that, you can't actually tell that there's anything wrong with it. You know what I mean? So we'll stand it up. It can live here for now. Live there. This can go back under my bed. And I'll get to tracing the things, and I'm taking my camera to my parents' house. Hopefully I'll be able to update people with how well I'm doing with it. But at least I don't have to redo it all, because that was my biggest worry. I'm going to take before and after pictures as well, which I probably will be able to use as the thumbnail if it works out well. Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay, so this is a bit... Where have I gone? Why am I just recording absolutely nothing? Oh, there I am. So what I did here was briefly, very roughly outlined the Coke bottles, the small ones, and then I drew how big the big ones were. So cut to my parents' house. This is mainly all just time lapses now, right until the end, because I was on new meds when I was recording this, and I just did not have the energy at all. But I'm feeling a bit more positive now, actually. So what you see me doing here is I drew six of those cola bowls, the little ones. And now you see me going over it with a fine liner, like a black fine liner. And then what I do is, so I don't have to draw a million trillion of them, I think I photocopy a few of them, and then I just paint them. But you'll see. I did record everything, I'm not talking in it. Please excuse me, because I'm actually doing laundry right now. Because real life's got to get to you. So yeah, that's just... I don't really know what to say. Like, I say this every single time I make these videos. I just sit there and record myself while watching TV, thinking that I'm being all smart and great. But in reality, I come to edit this video and I've got to talk for 40 plus minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours at some point. I've just got to talk, and I never know what to say because it's just, you can see what I'm doing. Where have I gone? I don't know where I've gone. Oh, I'm back. I was watching something. I can't remember what I was watching. This was recorded about a week and a half ago. Because I'm still slightly ahead. I never really got the break I wanted in regards to my videos, like taking a break from YouTube kind of thing. Never really got a solid break because I kept making videos to try and keep up. But then I took a 2-week break but then I was still editing videos in those 2 weeks because I kept procrastinating because I was on new meds that was making me just really tired. But I watched a video somewhere actually, and it said that the first 100 videos that you make, or the first 100 cakes that you bake, or whatever you're trying to become successful at, so the first 100 poems you write, the first 100 books you write, even if someone writes that many books, are going to be your worst. But then after that, you get a lot better. I don't know. So I'm currently whispering because I'm at my parents' house, right? Please ignore all the furniture in the background. So I finally come to the focus on my face. Finally come to the conclusion that I have to sell my childhood furniture, well, my teenage years furniture, because I just don't need it. I don't live here. This is not my home anymore, you know? I'm here enough, like, but... So what you guys saw me doing was, before, this was hours ago, I took a break, was tracing over my Coke bottles, which I found online quite easily, and redrew. So there's 6 of them here. I need to photocopy this and print out about, I'd like to say, I missed a bit there. I'd like to say about 5 or 6 copies. And I'm petrified. Where did it go? There's a bit that I missed. Petrified is going to wake my dad up. Where was it? There was a bit I missed. There. But it's like I've slept quite a lot this afternoon because I went to the doctor's this morning, so I had to be up early. And so I slept for a while, but then I went to my house, changed my clothes, had a shower. Bought some down some more stuff to sell, which is over there. Which does include this cup, which I was going to keep, but I decided not to.
and this water bottle, which I literally got 2 weeks ago or something like that, because I'm not gonna drink it. I'm not using it. So I don't like water. No amount of bottles will make me like water. You know what I mean? So I need to brave the printer. There's only one set of plugs in this room, which is over there. I don't know if you can see them just behind that lamp. And I've got it attached to an extension. Just my phone and my laptop plugged in it right now. Don't reach my bed, which I've moved to in that little corner. I used to have it there for a while when I lived here. But it's a bit impractical. No plugs. So, I used to have extension cords running all around this room though when I lived here. Not anymore. Because I think I took all the plugs and took them to my house. Freezing this house, absolutely freezing. It's July, but it's absolutely freezing. It's quite a big room as well, if you can tell. Like, you don't really understand the extent of it until the furniture's gone. So that's all being listed on Marketplace, TV included. And that's actually the TV from my old TV from my room. My dad said he wanted it, but it was in here and there's no remote. They've lost the remote for it. And so I was like, what are you doing with that? They said, oh, it can go on Marketplace. So, alright then. That was the one that I've replaced in my bedroom. It all just usually comes here. A wardrobe's here. It all just comes here. Which is fine. So yeah, I need to brave the printer. I'm going to put a show on quite loud. Because my dad sleeps with his TV on. So if I have something on, then it might drown out the noise, if you know what I mean. So we're going to try that. But yeah, if all fine and dandy, then you'll see a clip of me or me painting or whatever. I don't really know what to do yet, but yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I did not realise that I made that video. I completely forgot. I thought it was just like, what's the word? Like time lapses all the way through. So anyway, here you see me using I've got these little paints. Well, I should say my mum got me these little paints from the shop because I told her I was looking out for some paint, but not very much paint. Like, I didn't need much paint. Hang on. Okay, I was just turning off noise cancellation so I can actually hear myself speak because I've got AirPods in right now. So I told Mum I needed some paint, but not very, very much paint at all because I only needed to do a few of these Coke bottles. These were the ones that I had photocopied. Don't know why that cut. Don't know what happened there. And then those little pots that you see are full of water. It was funny because I had two pots of water. One that was like, because there wasn't much water, I used one for the warm colours, like the reds, the yellows, and the oranges. And then, I don't know where I went then, another pot for the cold colours for the water, because I was noticing, you'll see in a minute, because I was washing my brush out in cold coloured water, if you know what I mean by that. It was making some of the paint go a bit funny. You'll see, I'll point it out in a minute too. I don't know exactly what point it is. I wasn't going to use water at all. I was just going to vibe, but the paint was just too thick. And the paint was still too thick. I forgot how much I'd watered it down originally, like on the first ones that I did. I watered them down. Yeah, see there. I tried to paint blue, and because the water was like orangey, it went weird and orangey. But I do paint over it about now-ish in a minute. But yeah, I should have made it a lot more watery because they've dried a lot thicker than the other ones were. Why do I keep disappearing? Where am I? My show is still running in the background. You can see like the flicker of lights. So at what point do I was going to use the green, but the reason why I didn't use the green, yeah, there you go, I've covered it now, because I knew it was a different shade of green to the one that was already on the painting, and I didn't really want to have to redo it. But I saw the orange and the blue, and I was like, and the yellow and the red, obviously, and I was like, oh, they're the same shade that's on my painting already, well, it's pretty darn close, I'd like to say. And it was, like, spoiler alert, it's completely done now, obviously. And it pretty much matches perfectly. I just, again, wish I did the paint a lot thinner. Still don't know what to say in these voiceovers, because these little paints that were really cute, though. Should have watered them down more. It's like triggering me watching this back. I forgot what I was. No, I don't forget what I was watching. I was watching Airline, which I think I've mentioned before, but maybe not. I'm not sure. But there's a show in England called Heathrow, Britain's busiest airport, which is literally just a show about Heathrow, Britain's busiest airport. And then I got recommended the show called Airline, which is also a British show, but it was set, I'd like to say, between the late 90s, like 1998, 1999, and then the very, very early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002 time. And it's pretty much the same premise, really. It's just people that work in the airport, you know, people that forgot their passport, all the drama that goes on in the airport. But looking at not how only different the airport was, but how different people were, how different people spoke. Like, I was watching an episode, right? And I don't know if it's still the norm, but I don't think it is the norm anymore. But people used to get business flights from Manchester or even Liverpool to London. Like, I understand, like, I spend a lot of my time in Australia. I understand you'd have to get a flight from one end of Australia to the other. I get that. I'm fully aware that is a big distance. But Liverpool to London. So I live near Liverpool. I was in Liverpool yesterday, actually, watching a new Barbie movie. It's quite good, actually. It sounds weird, but it was actually a really good movie about female empowerment, I'd like to say. It was good. Anyway, I just could not imagine being like, oh, I want to go to London. I'm going to fly there. Like, you just get the train. But like these people, these businessmen were making a big song and dance out of getting the plane to... Like, this is why the ice caps melt. This is why there is fires all over Europe right now. Not to get political, but why were we flying? Why are we flying from Liverpool to London? Is there really any need? And you're like, oh, it's probably quicker. No, because these businessmen, right? A lot of these, obviously, it's about the drama. You know, they've missed their passport or they've lost their ticket or whatever it is, right? And they're like, they would rather sit there for 4, 5, 6 hours until the next flight to go to London than just hop on a train, which will take less than 5 hours probably. I don't know back then, actually. Like, I probably am speaking from the time of 2023, and we now have like look, this is me cutting out this was the next day, me cutting out the Coke bottles. Back to my rant, anyway. We're not here for the Coke bottles, we're here for my rant. So I understand that probably, I don't really know, because this was like set in, like, as I said, early 2000s. So if I was even born, I was an infant, pretty much. And I obviously don't know what the train situations was like back then, so it could have probably took like 10 hours to get to London. I'm not too sure, but I just think it's a bit excessive. You know what I mean? To fly to London. But again, I probably am speaking from entitlement, for not realising probably how much technology, including the technology of trains and transportation in general, has probably come along, actually. It was bizarre to me. How bizarre. You know what I mean? But obviously back then, nobody was on their phones, and just people just being constantly... I don't mind, like, if we're just chilling at home, but I mean, like, strangers, like, on the street, just constantly on their phones and just chatting on the phone and texting and constantly talking to someone on the phone, just when, like, they're in a shop or something, just being, like, ignorant. Again, you know, I'm not meaning, like, just chilling. You just don't see people just on their phones or taking Snapchats or... it seems so different. It's just such a different world. And to think that was actually still in my lifetime. Like, I was born, I was probably walking and talking, and people just didn't own phones. Like, there was this one episode where this dad couldn't find his kids or something. Like, they were, like, older kids. Like, I'm not talking, like, toddlers. I'm talking, like, 11, 12, 13 years of age type of children. And he was, like, in a total frenzy, and he had to use, like, the fax machine, like, the phone fax machine that in the actual, like, office, like, the, I don't know, the where you go to check in your bag, like, I don't know what it's called, the front desk, to, like, call the someone, like, customer service, and they couldn't just call them because obviously most adults didn't have a phone then, so they didn't have phones, the kids didn't, you know what I mean? Absolutely bizarre. And again, not to get political or dark, but how different airports were before 9/11 was just, like, you just checked in and then you just went to your gate. There was none of this, all this security and TSA and that you have to go through now. Like, you just watch someone running for their flight and then they just check your passport and then you just go to your gate. Oh, this is me tracing the bigger cola bottles, by the way. So I traced one of them and then I photocopied it 6 times. I did something different with these cola bottles because it was like a very, very last minute thing. Like, I was colouring them when I decided I was going to do it, and I just took a risk and just did it anyway. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But there was no, like, security. None of that where you've got to, like, put your liquids in a clear bag. And obviously that's all I've ever known because 9/11 happened when I was 2.5. I would have been 3 in the following March. You know what I mean? Weird.
Oh, that's weird lighting, isn't it? But hello. If you hear wind, it's because I've got that thing open. But, so, I came back from my parents' house yesterday and I didn't really do much last night. I'm on new meds. Again, I don't mind sharing this stuff on the internet. I like to be real. And they're making me feel a bit weird. And apparently they're meant to make me feel weird for the first, like, 6 weeks. And so I'm just trying to take it easy. So I'd like to say workload. My motivation, my workload is probably halved. Because I feel really it's not really, like, groggy. It's just a bit spaced out. It's been a long time since I've started new meds. My other ones, I was on a combination of sleep meds and anxiety meds and they just weren't working for me. So I'm on an antidepressant now. But yeah. Anyway, so, as you see me do in the last clips, I've taped them up into paper. I made, like, a little paper envelope for them, like a makeshift paper. So I've done some. I didn't do any greens because the green that I got, like the little cheap paint things that I got that you might have seen in the past clip, the green doesn't match. Where is it? I've put it over there because I've opened that and the Amazon assistant was like, oh, it might rain, it might not rain. So, like, I wanted to move out the way of the window just in case it starts raining. So I've made more than I probably will need, but I've done blue and then red, yellow and orange because I think, yeah, they're close enough to the original colours that I shouldn't notice much difference. And then I've got, what we're going to do now is colour these. I do want to use Sharpie to kind of stop them from fading. I've got 6 of them, I photocopied them. Drew one, photocopied them, so there's 6 now. And we're going to colour them in bolder colours. So I've got all my pens here. I've got pencil case, a pen pot, and then another pencil case. This one's from Australia. And we're going to find maybe some Sharpies or some pens. I've only got fine liner Sharpies though, which might take a while. But I've got all day, and it seems like quite a chill thing to do today. And I've got to put it back on my black card. I don't know if I've got enough black card though. It seems just like a chill thing to do because I'm feeling, that's why my window's open even though it's really cold. I'm just feeling a bit, it's like a dizziness but constant. And it's like, I don't know, it's like looking for a kaleidoscope
apparently that's normal. Weird. And I'm not doing too well on them. But feeling optimistic. But yeah, I just wanted to chill today, so I'm going to find some pens to colour them, and that'll be the clip you see next. So yeah. I didn't realise I had interrupted my time lapses so many times in this video, actually. So yeah, what you see me doing here, at this point in my brain, yeah, I didn't record many of these, by the way. I didn't record many of the colouring because I just couldn't get a good angle. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I realise now that I probably should have sat on the right-hand side and put the camera on the left so that my hand wasn't in the way. But at this very point, I was thinking I was going to be doing all of that Coke bottle red, like how they were on the other one. Like, all of them were going to be one block colour each. And then I finished it, and you'll see in a minute, I think. I don't know how well it holds up on a time lapse, but you'll see in a minute. Me just stop for a while because I was trying to envision what it would look like if I did all the little bits, all different colours. Like if I made it a bit pop arty, bit. So you see me sit, and I'm just, at this point, I'm just staring at it. And then I grab another colour, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And here you see me just colouring it in blue. And I didn't really know what to expect. Sorry if you can hear the rain, by the way. It's raining right now. And I didn't know what I thought of it. I didn't know what to make of it. But I do, now that they're all together and it's all done, I do really, really like it. I didn't really like it at first. Like when I finished the first cola bottle, because there was only one and it looked a bit odd by itself, and I did like do all corresponding colours together. You'll see what I mean when it's done. But one on its own just looks a bit silly. You know what I mean? But here you see me, I've got some yellow on it. I'm doing the green. So I'm doing all like the same colours. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. But I'm doing them just... everything's just a bit everywhere, really. And it just looks better. You know, it just looks... As I said at the start of this, I wanted to do the Coke bottles a bit bigger. I wanted to make the lines more prominent. I wanted it to stand out more because they did look a bit lost. They looked a bit washed out the way that they were, and I didn't realise what I could actually do to make it less washed out. And this makes it look a lot less washed out. It makes it stand out more. And here you are. Here it is, just clipped to halfway done the first one. Yeah, doing that big purple bit, like that was the biggest open space on them, and it killed me pens. But I did like that made me sound about Australian, didn't it? No two places are the same colour, so there's no two blue Coca-Cola signs, and there's that purple bit, it's all, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. It's all different colours. Each bit has its own colour. No two colours are repeated in the same section, which is good. I had to carefully plan it out, and I kind of put the colours in pairs. So red and blue went together, green and purple went together, and then yellow and orange went together, and it was kind of like I corresponded the two colours. So where the blue is, the red was, where the red was, the blue was, and then I kind of made three different sets, and that's how I ended up doing it. It was weird in some parts. Well, it did clash a bit. Like at some points the red and the oranges are really close together, and it looks a bit weird. So here you see, we can't see much because the way I've filmed it. So here you see like the red Coca-Cola, and then the blue will be the background because I'm swapping them, if you get what I mean. I did want to record all of my colour. So you can't see what I'm doing. You actually just can't see anything. But I like watching colouring videos, you know, like on YouTube, like fast-paced colouring videos, like with the sound, like the sound. I've mentioned this a few times. But I think if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to put the camera on my left-hand side so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'll have to do a bit of experimenting if I end up doing that. I'm not too sure. I usually love the sound of rain, but it usually starts really heavily raining when I'm trying to make these videos and I'm trying to talk through these videos. So in a minute, you're going to see me. So what I do is I cut these out, and then I was going to back them onto coloured card and then black card, but then I didn't think I only had 3 pieces of black card left, and so I had to put 2 on each piece of card. So I had to put the black card on first and then the coloured card. You'll see what I mean. And then I end up doing like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple coloured card as well. So here you see me doing what I usually do, cutting off all the big bits so that I can go in and control my scissoring techniques better. This was only the other day, actually. That's how long it took me to colour them. Like, I was colouring these as my new meds were settling into my body, we'll say. And so it just took me forever because this was literally only less than a week ago. Alex, you can put the you can't even see what I'm doing. I should have moved the camera up a bit more, shouldn't I? What was I watching when I was doing this? I was watching, there's a YouTuber I like. Sorry, I'm absolutely exhausted. There's a YouTuber I like called James Turner, and he's currently doing a new series on his channel he plays The Sims 4 of the new expansion pack for The Sims, the horse one. And he's got like a little ranch. I think it's called like the ranch I don't know. I do want it because you can get like little sheep and baby goats on there and stuff, and they're just absolutely adorable, but I'm not really a horse person. So that's that. But I might get it, I don't know. I do want like the high school years and the university packs more though, because they just seem like much more fun gameplay. Did I cut then, or did I just blink weirdly? Honestly, I'm absolutely freezing, but every single one of my hoodies when they've just come out the wash, I've just done laundry, as I said, and I was just hanging them up to dry on like the little clothes area thing. And I'm quite cold, actually, I am. And I don't have another hoodie to wear or anything. So this is the last Coke bottle anyway. Cola bottle, Coke bottle. There we go, done. Do I cut it? No, I don't. I just go straight into... So I lay out all the colours. So I wanted to see what colour background one would look the best. I was like, no. So here you see me... Because otherwise, if I put them on the coloured card first, I don't think there would have been enough room on the black paper to do 2 each. They would have been too wide at that point. So I end up just doing the black card first because I know they both would have fit, and then I did the coloured card last, which I do prefer actually now because it kind of created more of a thick outline. It kind of made them stand out a bit more. So here I am. They fitted perfectly, so I didn't have to like waste much of the card. But it doesn't look like it on the video, but the black card was actually really, really thick, a lot thicker than the coloured card. The coloured card is just, it was like really thick paper, but this was like almost cardboard type of thickness. It's like in between the coloured card and cardboard. So what you see, they kind of like, they were bending because of the glue. They were kind of like, I don't know what the word is when they like fold up on themselves. Trying to keep them stuck down onto the coloured card, and then trying to get them stuck down onto the actual painting. You'll see at the end of this video, it was absolutely nearly impossible. I had to keep holding them down. You see me like trying to flatten them down because they weren't sticking at all. So I just lathered the glue on. And then just made sure all the edges were stuck down. And I just held them for felt like forever. And then we got the yellow. They weren't really in any specific order at this point. I was just doing whatever colour looked good. And now I cut the sides off them. Because they fitted alright lengthways, but not so much widthways. I probably could have fit them on the card. I don't know. But I think it looks really good like this. Like, I think it looks like really well highlighted. I'm not too sure how to explain it. But I just like it. It looks bold now. I like them. They look really well together, I think. I don't know. Let me know what you think about them. Because I like them, you know. So here I am back at my house in my pyjamas. This was literally like 3 days ago. 2 days ago? I'm not sure. So originally I was just gonna glue over the top of these cola balls, but then I was like, no, because I didn't want them to stick up weirdly. I needed them to have as flat of a surface as possible, because I knew getting these things stuck down was actually going to be a mission in itself. Don't know why I zoomed in so much, because you can hardly see anything I'm doing at any point in this video. So first one I'm doing is using my little cola bottles to fix the mistakes, fix the broken bits, and it just feels so good. Even just looking at it now, it looks so good to see it fixed again. First I tried to use, you can't see a thing I'm doing. There you go. And you could just see, just was not sticking at all. So there I go to get my Mod Podge. And I'm just gluing down the corners the best I can. Just wasn't sticking. You can see the bottom corner there. Just did not want to stick. Did not want to stick at all. So anyway, I end up just ditching the glue stick at this point, and I just used the Mod Podge because it was just a stronger glue. And like I could get more on it, if you know what I mean. Because Mod Podge was actually what destroyed it in the first place, because what I was doing originally was I had it stuck on the wall, and I think I mentioned it in one of my past videos, or maybe at the start of this video, I'm not too sure. I wanted to Mod Podge it to protect it because the edges were just getting a bit rough and everything. And so I started to Mod Podge it. I Mod Podged about half of it, and then I was moving out. And so I folded it up because the cardboard was already folded, like that was fine. And so I folded it up to put in my art folder, which I'd done millions of times in the past. Don't know where I've gone. Over and back. And what was I saying? Yeah, and so when I tried to put it back up on the wall when I moved into the place I'm in now, it was just, I heard that sound. I was like, oh. And I was just so heartbroken that I just folded it back up, put it back in my art folder, and put it under my bed, and I didn't get it out until now. You know, I didn't get it out until I was ready to fix it. But it was always in the back of my mind, I really need to fix it. I really want to fix it, because it's my pride and joy. It's like my child. Like, I created that. It took me like nearly a year to create that, like a child. You know what I mean? And so, but I was just so disheartened that it just, you know what I mean? So as you can see, the order, I've put them in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It goes with the colour of the, because I was like, well, now that they're not all one colour, which one do I put first? So this kind of solved that issue. And the colour of the backing card matches the colour of the middle part of the cup, the bottle. So as you can see, the middle part goes, not the middle, but just above the middle. Goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. There you just see me just fixing up some more bits. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Okay, so it's getting kind of late and my hands are like covered in glue, and I wasn't going to make this outro until tomorrow, but like, it's not, like it's still kind of light outside. It's probably about 9 o'clock at night. It goes dark quite late here in England. In the summer, that is. And so I thought I might as well just make the outro now, and then I could just get into bed and then just start editing this video, because I'm a bit behind. Like, I was like 4 weeks ahead. Never got a chance to really take a break, but now I'm like, I'm not behind now, but yeah. But, oh yeah, I was just admiring the glow on my hand. So I finished it. It's kind of like a bad angle. Yeah, you'll see a bit. I'll insert a picture somewhere of it. Probably the same picture from the thumbnail, but you probably won't be able to see that well if I use it for the thumbnail. I have took before and after pictures, so I'm hoping I can make something with that. I don't know. But yeah. I do like it, actually. I do like it better than I like the old one. It looks more...
you can tell I've worked harder, especially on the bigger cola bottles, because the last ones I remember I just coloured and I didn't really care much, but these, like, they look a lot more detailed, and I do really, really like them. Yeah, I'm proud of them. So I hope everyone else liked it. I remember when I first showed people the first original one, everyone was like, had a really, really small blog at the time. I think it's closed down now, and I've transferred to my website, everything to my website now. I remember everyone loved it, and I was like, But over the years, I think I've probably just because I've stared at it too many times, but now it looks different, and so I'll never have the same original love for it, you know? But I'm glad it's fixed. More than anything, I'm glad that I fixed it, because I thought it was like a total just goner, you know? But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed this video.